Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about something I've wanted to talk about for a while, and that is the hate that seems to be surrounding Rey and her character, where a lot of people will like to point out things like, how is she able to do this? How is she able to do that? Absolutely no training to speak of. She's ruining Star Wars, yada, yada, yada. All the nonsense that I think is utterly ridiculous. And we're going to break that down. And I'm just going to kind of lay my thoughts on out there. I think a lot of you miss a lot of key points and things that you're just not seeing from prior movies to where you are now. So as always, if you like the video, throw it a like. I love getting comments and feedback. And if you're going to if you're going to drop some comments on here, don't just say things like Rey sucks. Okay. Yeah, we get it that you don't like her, but come on, throw me some facts. I've only gotten maybe one or two people that have actually given me something close to an actual fact as to why they don't care for Rey when it comes to her training and how they think that, Disney rushed her to be something great and how she's ruining Star Wars, because I don't believe any of that. So here we go. So the biggest thing is let's break a few of these down. One is how is she able to just go ahead toe-to-toe Kylo Ren in the very first when Force Awakens came out, in her very first appearance, her first, fight with Ren at the end. How is she able to even hang with him? Okay, understand that Rey, as a child, was left to basically fend for herself. Whoever were her parents, and I'm not even going to get into that conversation because it's going to make me even more upset, people hating on that. But whoever dropped her off, Rey is living alone on Jakku, learning how to fight for herself, learning how to fend off all of probably the scumbags and pieces of shit that have been trying to either hurt her or enslave her or whatever through her entire childhood into her teen years until she later on to where she is at the time of The Force Awakens. So she's had to learn to survive, how to scavenge, how to live off of what's around her, all of these things. And you're going to teach yourself how to fight. Natural abilities will come to people who are Force sensitive. Clearly, Rey is Force sensitive. And I think a lot of people will look past kind of that parallel couldn't be more obvious of her and Luke. Luke had no training. Luke had no training at all. He met Obi-Wan. He got a simple lesson aboard the Millennium Falcon, literally had maybe a 10-minute lesson and then had to roll right on into it. Rey got a couple of them in The Last Jedi, but granted, we won't go that far yet, so let's stay where we are. So yes, in The Force Awakens, Rey knows how to do things that you're like, oh, how in the world is she able to do this stuff? Well, I think you all also forget Anakin Skywalker was a child racing 200-mile-an-hour pod racers around, building robots and talking to droids with no training either. Some people just have it. You have to look at this as Rey is somebody that is very powerful in the Force, but she doesn't really know it yet. It's starting to come to her. It's starting to, these things are starting to really hit her. Like at the end when she remembers what Maz told her and the Force, just let it in, let it control you, let it control your actions, feel everything around you, let it penetrate you. The same thing you've been hearing for the last 8 movies. So it's not that far-fetched that Rey is able to fight Kylo Ren. It's not. I don't understand where everybody says this is so crazy and she's able to do this stuff. And how is she able to work on the Falcon? Well, remember, she did work on the Falcon. That was kind of known when she talked about the person that took it from Han, and she knew exactly the things that she had done to it. You don't think that she's been around long enough to where she's able to work on some of these things? She's pretty much known in that little area of Jakku. They knew who she is. So it's not that crazy for a person that's Luke's age in A New Hope, as Luke is fixing things as well, for Rey to be really good at fixing things. So once again, I don't understand the point that you all make about her being so far advanced without no training. That's pretty much the way Star Wars is with our heroes. Luke had no training, and look at what became of him. Anakin had no training. He was just a little boy. And yes, I understand he might be the chosen one. That's another, discussion for another time. 2, then we move along to The Last Jedi. And people are talking about, well, look at Rey, so sped up and just able to do all this. Once again, Rey already has the knowledge. And here's a couple things I'm going to point out. that Yoda says to Luke, nothing about those books Rey didn't already possess. She already knows these things, so clearly the Force is extremely strong with her. And then everybody likes to drop the whole, well, look at her moving all the boulders. Are you kidding me? They're rocks. And that's what Rey realizes in the end. Moving rocks. It's nothing. It's the same thing that Yoda explains to Luke in Empire Strikes Back when he asks him to lift the ship up. It's too big. No, Yoda tells Luke. It's not too big. Only big in your mind. Judge me by my size, do you? Like, everything in Star Wars is recycled. I have said this in videos before. I have said it 1,000 times on my Instagram page. Star Wars, I love it to death, but it's very much recycled content. And all the stories tie into each other from past lessons. It's the same lesson that Yoda had given to Luke. Judge me by my size, do you? It doesn't matter. And it's the same thing that hits Rey. They're just rocks. And her first lesson with Luke tells Rey the same thing. You have to feel these things around you. Just let it all in. Feel it around you. Concentrate. Feel this, feel that. What do you see? What do you sense? You'd be amazed at what you can do once you let the Force in and allow it to guide you. And it's the same moment when she's staring at it. She's like, moving rocks. They're only big in your mind. It's nothing. It's not that hard. So just because she's grasping so much faster than others doesn't make Rey less of a character. It doesn't mean Disney has ruined anything. It doesn't mean Rey has ruined Star Wars and that all of this stuff that she's able to do is so far-fetched that it has ruined everything. It's not. You guys need to stop the hate. Stop looking at what some idiot on Reddit posted and actually look at the facts. And the facts are very clear. It's not like Rey has come out of nowhere to do something that nobody else has ever done before. It's been done. It's not that crazy. It's not that far-fetched. So my little rant is over there. That's just a couple of quick points I want to make. You know, you guys can comment if you want. You can DM me over on Instagram for those that follow me. Throw a like, throw a dislike. I always love getting the feedback, but I don't think Rey has done anything wrong to Star Wars. I like the way it's going right now. I really do. And I'll talk about some episode 9 predictions in a later video later on this week. That's pretty much all I got for today, so I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.